Hello everyone and welcome back to our podcast for today, our second week where we are looking at the different things that Jesus has said, the I ams that he has said about himself. So we are on our second I am and Dave is going to be unpacking it for us. So Dave, over to you.
I am indeed, but before I even tell you what it is, Shona, right away I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Are you afraid of the dark?
No.
Have you ever in your life been afraid of the dark?
Yes.
Okay. Question number 2. Well, actually, it's question number 3. Are you afraid of the light?
No.
Have you ever been afraid of the light?
No.
No, that would be silly, wouldn't it?
That would be silly.
No one goes into a light room and goes, this is really scary, I need to turn the lights off because then I'll feel more safe. No, it doesn't really happen. We might be afraid of the dark, but we're very rarely going to be afraid of the light, because the dark is where things can hide and where you don't know where things might be. But in the light, that scariness disappears because we can see clearly and we know that we are safe. Okay, with that in mind, Shona, can you read the statement that Jesus made about himself that we're looking at today?
Yeah, so this is from John chapter 8 and it is verse 12. Jesus spoke to the people once more and said, I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness because you will have the light that leads to life.
Okay, so Jesus said, I am the light of the world. And if you follow him, you don't need to be afraid of the darkness because you'll have light with you wherever you go. So I want to tell you a story, if that's all right. I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me when I was about 9 years old. So the school that I went to get from where I was dropped off by my mum in the morning to get to the school, I had to walk through a little alleyway. And the alleyway was a little bit dark. And once you were in it, there was no way of getting out of it. You had to walk all the way to the end. And what started happening was that there were some older kids, actually from a secondary school nearby, who were not very nice. And they would wait, and when they saw children, like me at the time, walking down this alley by themselves, they would start shouting horrible things, and one time they threw an apple at me, and it was really, really scary. And do you know what I did? I told my mum about it. Now, guess what she did? What she didn't do was go and beat up the bullies. What she didn't do straight away was go and tell someone else about it. She did talk to the teachers as well. But what she did was the next day, when she dropped me off, she got out of the car with me and she just walked next to me. And as we were walking, I saw the bullies. And I wasn't afraid of them because I knew that with an adult there, they weren't going to try anything. And actually just having her next to me was enough to make me feel safe. It didn't mean the bullies weren't there. It didn't mean the problem had totally gone away, but it did mean that I wasn't as afraid of them. And when Jesus says, I am the light of the world, if you follow me, you won't walk in darkness, what he's saying is that I'm there and I can bring light to any situation. I can bring light to anything you might face. It doesn't mean that all of our problems go away, but it does mean that Jesus is with us no matter what. Now, I think that's a really encouraging thing to remember. And the question that I want you to think about today, and maybe to share, if you're happy to, is what kinds of things are a bit scary or difficult for you at the moment? And no matter whether you're older or younger, you could maybe share some of those things. What's difficult or scary for you? And what difference does it make to you to know that God is there in the middle of it with you? That's what I wanted to get you to think about today.
Wow. Thanks so much, Dave. That's some really good things to think about and a really great statement to remember as we go into the rest of our day. We will see you guys tomorrow for our next episode of our Lent podcast. See you later.
Bye-bye.